Alright, here's a rocker panel for the bottom. What I've done is I've marked out the specific points, measurements, my waypoints to give me my rocker. So when I use my trusty carbon fiber batten, I just scribe the line, and then I flip it over and do the same on the other side, lining these up. There we go. Well, here's a little bit closer up view of the rocker layout. There's the center line, 12 inches out, and then we start coming up and hitting our little intersection points. I don't know if you can see them there. You see how it starts, and we just come on down to our center point, and then we're going to come right on back up on the other side, the toe. And our rocker on the top will be just the opposite, pushing down to the concave, so it's going to be in reverse. Concave and convex. There's the layout. Clamp down, I'm going to take the saber saw, we're going to cut it off, leaving the line, because I'm going to use the router so we get a nice true square line. And I'm going to show you how we do that after I get this cut. Okay, I was careful to leave at least a fat eighth here, and now we're going to go to the router. Okay, now we're going to have to start nailing our 3/4 by 5/8 router guide to the rocker, just off the line, and working our way up. You're going to have to put them in and at certain points, and then come along further on up to get the bend right. And I find it best to do a little pilot hole just through the router guide. Just drop your nail in there, and then when you position it, drive it all the way home, because the router guide's got to right on top of this strip. Okay, now I'm going to next see how far we can go here. What you have to do is just take your thumb and pull your guide to the line and see where it comes. If it starts to touch and is not there on the upper end, you just have to back off and say here's a nail point, and then come finish it off later up higher. And I got to put one right here. So basically it's going to be a matter of feel. You're going to look at your line, bring your router guide up, bend it. When it starts to come around your line, you're going to have to mark it, drill your pilot hole, put your brad in there, and then work up. You're going to probably be able to go 3 or 4 inches to an anchor point. Last one. I'll just put it right here in the end. Don't go through into the plywood, because then they won't grab as good. This is just to help you get the nail started. Perfect. Alright, I'll work my way back this way. Whoops,
one. Got to use small brads. Number 6s are too big. And after we get the first rocker made, we'll be able to use it for a pattern for all the rest, and they'll be the same until we change the rocker design. This particular rocker is going to be more of a flat bottom with a moderate rocker on the end. It comes up with about 2 1/4, 2 1/4 at the end. There's side one. Now I'm just going to touch it up with the belt sander, getting any burrs and stuff off, clearing it out nice and smooth. Cleaned it all up, the belt sander, got all the burrs off, and now we're going to transfer this rocker onto the other panels. And a good trick to use is to use a magic marker. And the reason I use the magic marker when I do this, because it gives you a broad line, and you want to leave that line, and that way if you go off a little bit, the router still has enough material to make a nice clean cut. Now you can see, after we get this routed, that's going to be a perfect match right there. They'll marry up just perfect. Here I go, cutting the last bottom. Fasten the bottom rocker that we've cut out using the router guide. And I'm using a patent, so now I've got an actual rocker to make it the patent to cut the rest of them out. And that's what I'm going to do with it. Use it for a guide for the router. And that just takes care of it. got the bottom and top rockers cut out. The bottom is concave and convex, and the top is concave. Now, the bottom we cut out with the router really smooth, and then we trace that onto the top. But we have a problem now. The top is still just rough cut with the saber saw, so how do we dress that up? Do we bother putting a batten in here and go through the whole process? No, because we already have a wonderful pattern right here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to set this up. We're going to use this as a router template. Concave. We're going to transfer that same pattern onto the other one. All right, now to accomplish transferring the correct radius from the bottom rocker to the top rocker, I just screwed the 3 finished bottom rockers onto the plywood table, and then you have to put 2 spacers. I'm using a blank piece of wood, and then one of the tops I'm going to need, and just space it far enough apart so that the router can run through here without the bearing or the blade hitting anything. And then after we get that fastened, okay, I need 2 of the smaller screws right here. Okay, so we're just gonna, I got it marked out here so I know I'm clear. Alright, now I mark this and this on the table so that when I take the top one off, I'm going to take this one and it'll be the one being routed, but I'll just put the other one right in this where this line is drawn. Now I have to figure out where this has got to go. And this I'm going to have exactly, when I do the others, it's going to have to be the same. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the router in here, and I'm going to push it all the way tight there. Okay? And like this. I'm just going to take and measure all the way to the back, and it's 13 1/4. And I see roughly 3/16. So if I take this and move it in, I'm going to say to 13, because it's just under 13, because that'll mean my 3/16, okay? I'm going to try that. So, let's see if that works. You know what I'm going to do? Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to go to 13 1/4. Okay, I'm going to pull it back 13 inches, and theoretically, if that's correct, I can put the other one up here at 13 inches from this edge, and they should be exactly the same. One last measurement. Perfect. So I gotta stop top from the other end. I'll have to use Bondo on it. So the blade's turning this way, so you have to go this way, but you got to keep that constant pressure against the template at all times. Look how smooth that came out. Look at the line. The line's still there. That's just perfect. Now I have to take this one off. And we're just going to trade places with it. The one we just did will go in here. There's my mark right down there, so I just put that on the mark. Use the same screw hole. Why does it keep moving? So that's 13. Alright, now I'm going to have to remember, start on the right and keep constant pressure against this template so it doesn't pull into this piece. No sawdust in the coffee? Oh, I guess I was wrong. And that is perfect. Okay, we've got the strong backs. We got all the concave and convex. These are for the top, and we're gonna put these little brackets on them. And then we're going to position them here, one on the left and one on the right. And top of the two, pressing down on the three that are on the bottom. Now the three on the bottom, the center one will give us the concave because we're going to put a little shim on that, raising up enough to give it that little concave that we want. And we can adjust that concave by changing the different sizes of shims that we put in there. And that will be shown on tomorrow's video, or the next video. So we just gonna drill them out. We're gonna put a center drill so they don't move around, and then just put the screw in it, and then that's it. And then we'll be able to fasten them down here, and then we'll be able to move them in and out to get the desired effects we want to get. On some of these boards, the competition boards, we may have 4 of these, okay, because we're pressing down, have a concave, the board will go like that, but when it comes down to the lip, it's gonna flare down the other way. And to do that, we'll need 2 of these on top, like this. One of them with a shim, so it'll press it further down to give it a little bit of a roll on the rail of the board, and that'll increase the angle of attack, plus give a little more torsion on the edge of the board.